What's up everybody, it's Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here with another video, and after my week-long hiatus and watching Mortal Kombat 2021 7 times over, watching the original 1995 version and Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge the animated film, this is going to be, yes, there will be spoilers. It's going to be the best review I can try to give for a film with telling you first there is criticisms about the film, but I'm going to explain something. There is such thing as having an opinion, and there is such thing as fair criticism. But when you start taking nitpicks and turning those into criticisms, that's when I'm going to have a problem. I feel everybody, whether you're right or wrong, should have an opinion, because even if you feel you're wrong, you have some evidence that could at least show that you have a point on something. But when you're wrong, and just purely wrong, like irredeemably wrong, then that's when I take issue, and that's where I'm going to step in. Now, Mortal Kombat 2021. Let's get the negatives out of the way. This is the most... It's not good paced. It's poorly paced, and it's shot very quickly with fast editing and combat. And they should have at least added maybe an extra 30 minutes to the film, maybe 40, just to help flesh things out a little bit more, because I get what they're trying to go for. I get what they were trying to do, but it was trying to please both non-Mortal Kombat fans and Mortal Kombat fans alike. And I think if you're trying to do something, either do something wholly original or stick to the fan base that you are trying to go for. Now, with that being said, let me explain to you why this is one of the most, just like Kong vs. Godzilla, this is another misreviewed movie by a small minority of the fan base and critics who, again, don't know how to review things these days. Now, Mortal Kombat, this one, is a prequel to the tournament. Everyone knows the Mortal Kombat original baseline story, and I'm not just talking about MK3, I'm talking about all the way up to 4. You have the tournament, MK1, MK2, the rematch, MK3, the Outworld Invasion, and MK4, the Dark Fallen Elder God Shinnok. Now, this film would feel like, it feels like an early, if Mortal Kombat did MCU-like phases, this Mortal Kombat 2021 film feels like a Phase 1 MCU. It's very quick and to the point, and it expects you to know certain things when going into the universe. Now, for a Mortal Kombat fan, I don't see what they're complaining about, because this is exactly what Mortal Kombat fans have been asking for. But you know what it is? Look, I knew how to remove my bias for the 1995 film, and that's where I see most critics and most of my small parts of the fan base are failing when it comes to this review for the films. This film in particular is they don't understand the level of planning that is going into this Mortal Kombat series. There's 4 films in the works. 4. And this is a prequel. Because if how it's being set up, this is a Gathering of the Troops film. Then the second film will be the tournament, but here's the kicker. They're doing the Outworld tournament and the Shang Tsung tournament as one event, which is perfect, because it would feel redundant if you did a Mortal Kombat 3 and it was just a rematch. The Mortal Kombat 3, by my understanding of this series, because this is all coming from the director, see, I followed the film. I followed its development on Twitter, I followed what the director was saying and what the writer was saying, and a lot of what people were saying about the whole Johnny Cage being white thing has been debunked. You know, I don't understand what people's problem is with trying to trash something that isn't, you know, SJW, because nothing woke about this film. Now, this movie actually follows a story of Cole, a new character, Cole Young, and fun fact, Cole Young was actually on the cutting room floor of being made into a character for the original MK, but Johnny Cage took his place. So they're really not that far off. But tying him to the bloodline of Scorpion is not only giving one of the most popular characters prominence, but this guy Cole Young is not a bad guy to start off with. He is an audience character. You see this world for new people. Here's an example. Within the 7 times of watching this film throughout the week, I did a test. I had a group of Mortal Kombat fans, group of non-Mortal Kombat fans got together at my cousin's house, and we all looked it over. And it's funny enough how some people say, oh, I don't understand what's going on, and I'm not MK, you know, I don't know MK. They were actually wanting to know the world of MK. And when I started to explain it to them, we played some of the games. We played MKX and MK11 on my PlayStation 4 together, so they have an understanding of why I like Mortal Kombat. And as a fan, it took me actually 2 times to watch the movie to see and appreciate, was like, you know what? With the original storyline they're going for, what the director said previously holds true. He's using the skeletons of the franchise. He's basically using the baseline story of the original trilogy and crafting new events on how we get to the finale, which is smart because it leaves both MK fans and newcomers a bridge to join to. Now there's certain things that people are questioning, which I'm actually working on 2 Mortal Kombat debunking videos, debunking 2 people that misviewed the film. Obviously, like, one is prominent and the other is irrelevant, but I have to speak on them both at separate points. The one thing I want to talk about is how the creator of the game went as far as to add mechanics into the game, into the lore. Like, for one, giving prominence to the Mortal Kombat symbol, making it so they can actually choose who's marked, which means that could give them free range to use who they want as characters without leaving those out, because they'll be like, okay, the mark is there. Now, the fatalities were on point. The combat for the characters were on point. The personality of these characters was on point. Now, if you're not a fan of the game, you are going to be confused. Is this how they act or not? See, the Mortal Kombat characters can get what I call the Ben Affleck Batman treatment. You should know better as a Mortal Kombat fan to know who these characters are. It's Cole Young who you guys should be invested in, which he's not a bad... you know, he's an everyday man. It's like, people forgot what it's like to have fun, simple films. You know, with the storyline being centered around Scorpion and Sub-Zero's feud, it actually sets up 4 villains for the series, which I think is actually unique. Obviously, we're going to get Noob Saibot, because Joe Taslim signed on to return for 4 films, which is awesome. And Hiroyuki Sanada, which, I'm sorry if I butchered the first name, but we'll just call him Sanada Scorpion. He is fantastic. Both of these 2, the highlight of the film was the fight between them. You know, and some of the origin changes and some of the background to Mortal Kombat itself, you had to strip a lot of this because there was a lot of contradictions to certain things even in the games. Even the source material will contradict itself. So I can appreciate something new and wholly original. And to debunk one person who constantly failed to review Mortal Kombat, aka Infinite Retro, he basically deleted all his videos calling this woke SJW garbage, which there is none of that in the film. But we all called it. He was going to come back and trash the series because he's got nothing better to do and he has to basically clout chase. But all in due time. Mortal Kombat 2021, is it a perfect film? Hell no, it's not. Does it continue the curse of video games? No, not what It's a Gundam would tell you, saying the video game curse continues. I'm sorry, he doesn't know how to really review. He doesn't really review things, so he wouldn't have a good enough opinion on that. He should just stick to doing his news stories. But he himself will also get a video on this. But I want to see, and a lot of fans, like I said, a lot of fans are actually liking it, but it's the vocal minority of the fan base that's grifters, basically. They're like MK grifters. They suffer from what I call the Star Wars original trilogy syndrome, where if anything is outside the original trilogy, even if the creators say that all the games except for a few are canon, you know, there's only 2 games that are non-canon, because believe it or not, even Mortal Kombat vs. DC, if you look at the timeline shift of MK9, you see it in the cutscenes briefly. So they acknowledge that it was the 8th Mortal Kombat game. They just had to do the reboot to switch everything. So that is basically the logic that you're getting from these people. People are taking nitpicks and making them full criticisms, and that's not how criticism works. Because I've seen some true Mortal Kombat fans, hardcore ones, say, you know what? The 1995 film was also bad. The 1995 film is basically the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat. And that's what everyone was used to at the time. Everybody was, believe it or not, and I can say this as a fan, we're used to the dumbed down pussy version of Mortal Kombat instead of this one, and they weren't used to what they were asking for. There was at least a good fan base behind this, and the fan base is excited that 4 films are continuing, which is good. You know, The vocal minority is like, look, if you don't like the film and you don't like it, don't ruin it for everyone else, okay? Don't, you guys out there, don't pull an Infinite Retro and spam misinformation about the film, because as a fan, I can tell you, yes, it's not supposed to be a good movie. You're asking for it's like you're asking for an Academy Award from a video game film. If you're going into that mentality, you're stupid. If you're going into this film as an MK fan, you will enjoy it. You will respect some of the changes, and you will respect that they're making it more wholly original, if anything. And if you happen to have a newcomer to the series with you that watches it, chances are they're going to want to know what the series is after watching it. Hell, my own mom liked the film, and she doesn't play Mortal Kombat, and she even says she sees why I'm invested into this world and I'm invested into the video game series. So that's coming from a non-video game fan. So the movie clearly did its job of bringing in a newcomer and a whole bunch of newcomers. Let's see, my godfather, the neighbors next door who plays sports games mainly, they watched it. You know, anyway, I'm just glad that the film is gonna get the 4 parts as it's going. But if I was to rate it, it's a B. It's a B minus. That's the film. It's a B minus at best. But watch it. It's compared to all the shitty movies we've been getting and all these propaganda films and everything pushed on us, films like Kong vs. Godzilla and this Mortal Kombat movie is stuff we needed. Okay? Hopefully the series will improve, and I gotta get to working on those debunking videos. This is Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming. Hope you liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and hell, I might even give Mortal Kombat an 8th view. Catch you later.